Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Sav here. Today I want to talk about something which has been kind of getting, it's kind of like a snowball effect. It's been kind of getting worse and worse and worse as time's gone on. I want to address Call of Duty Warzone. A game that I remember when it first came out, and it was kind of amazing actually. I think as a battle royale game, blew a lot of people away. The fact that you can, it was kind of, it felt like, obviously we had Blackout prior to this. Warzone came along and it felt far more polished. There's way more weaponry. There's different kind of like, different modes, different kind of like, the bounties. There's all these different brilliant ways that you can team up with mates, play as solos. For creators, for YouTubers, streamers, one of the big things that they're always trying to do in any of their videos, their creative output in any way, shape or form, is give the best possible gameplay, footage, capture, you name it, entertainment to the fans, the guys watching it, the guys and girls watching it at home. When you've got skill-based matchmaking, for those of you, I'm sure there's some people that don't know what it is, most people do by this point, here's a way to really, on layman's terms, lay it out for you. I'm here playing, for instance, Warzone in London, right? I'm in East London. You get someone who's next door, my next door neighbor, for instance, who's also playing Warzone. Now, I happen to be not great at the game. I'm kind of new to it. The person next door is very, very good. We both have incredible internet. The connection speed is tip-top. It's amazing. And we'll have a seamless game playing together, top frame rate, top ping, you name it. We're going to be looking real good and have a great gaming experience. And chances are he's going to batter me, but still, we've got a great experience. What skill-based matchmaking does, it says, forget that. I would rather pair you, person next door, with someone in Antigua who's the same skill level, who's both very, very, very OP, even though you're going to have a terrible experience. But because you're in the same arena in terms of competency and skill level, that's more important. Now when you're playing it, it's become so intense and so full on, it's really hard for YouTubers and creators to get behind certain games because it just isn't fun. Creating content, you want just fun things people can get behind and enjoy. And it's not happening so much. And the big thing that's come out in the last 40 hours or so is addressing the new big reason that creators in particular are turning away from Warzone. And that reason is hackers. The game is full of people hacking it. And Activision don't seem to really be taking that much notice of this clear problem with their huge IP, which is obviously a massive moneymaker for them. Of all networks, the BBC wrote a story about VIKKSTAR, one of the sidemen, big in the Warzone community, had his own Warzone tournaments recently. Let's check it out and see exactly what this article says. Gamer VIKKSTAR quits Call of Duty Warzone over cheating. Now, it's quite interesting that the BBC is actually taking a moment to look at this and actually report on this. Vic was recently on Michael McIntyre's The Wheel, right? So Vic was in the public eye, big primetime BBC One show. For a lot of like mainstream news outlets in particular, gaming's always been something which they don't quite have enough savvy to get their heads around. But because Vic was on a primetime BBC One show, they've gone, let's jump on this because this is important news and we know this person because they've been on a show that we, so that's fine. They've used Vic as a kind of like an example of like how they want to share news because people know who he is. Obviously, he's a very big deal with like the Sidemen and such, and Vic's been around, he's a great guy. Been very fortunate to work with him in the past. Vic's a lovely dude. But it's interesting how they're suddenly kind of approaching gaming and talking about the likes of hacking and cheating, which is a really interesting thing for them to cover in the first place anyway. It says here, a popular Call of Duty player has quit its Warzone game over claims it's saturated with hackers. Now, VIKKSTAR's more than 7 million subscribers. The game is in the worst it's ever been. It was released in March, last March, and has been played by more than 50 million people. I mean, it's huge. It's super popular. Activision previously said it had zero tolerance for cheaters. You wonder why this isn't being addressed sooner, because it's happening a lot. The fact players can live stream themselves blatantly hacking with zero repercussions blows my mind. Another thing that's really interesting, actually, the guy is second prestige and broadcasts hours of himself hacking. There's been a Fortnite player in the past, I know, who's been banned from the streaming platform Twitch that he was on due to hacking and saying, I'm just showing people at home like how you can hack if you want to, but there was zero tolerance, it was gone. And the fact that they're not being stopped, and they're clearly blatantly cheating. And to give you guys some context, prestige is when you've kind of, to get prestige is like when you think you get the maximum level on the game. To get second prestige, when you get maximum level on the game and then maximum level on top of that. and you've got the badge and the emblem to kind of like reflect that and show kind of other people you're playing against the level you're at. So the fact he's gone this long and hacked for this long, cheated for this long, and there's been no repercussions is mental. I'm broadcasting every day. I'm just going to cheat and show you guys how to cheat. He's promoting cheating. It's awful. It's terrible. Can you imagine if there's someone who's out there playing like poker online or something and is basically streaming saying this is how you play poker and you count cards and you hack the system and you can break down a casino and take money. There'd be no way you can get away with that stuff. There's no way. Another form of gaming. Why should this be allowed? Activision isn't addressing how many hackers are in the game. So he's actually calling Activision, who he's done a lot of work with in the past. Vic was a very prominent Call of Duty player, still is, obviously, but back in the day when he first started out, Call of Duty was a big thing for him. Obviously, since then, he's migrated into more Sidemen content and a lot of his own stuff as well. But the fact he's calling Activision saying, you guys need to sort yourselves out big time, even though he's just done a VIKKS kind of massive tournament with them recently. Kind of Vic did this big tournament where money was involved, and it was for, creators and the general public as well to get involved and try and win money in this epic tournament that he was the kind of the face and the guy behind as well, which is great collaborating with Activision. This needs to be fixed, otherwise it truly is the death of the game. It's an absolute joke. Oh, the actions on they live stream their actions on Facebook. So Facebook Gaming was the culprit. They were actually on Facebook Gaming, which would compared to YouTube and Twitch is still obviously it's Facebook, it's a prominent platform, but not as big as far as things go. We just happen to catch these guys in it, but often you don't even know when people are doing what they've been doing. You've just witnessed, and you kind of often you find people doing things, and then the game's over and you've lost. You're thinking, I've lost unfairly here. I would have taken that person out if it hadn't been for the hacks they put on. This comes just a week after another Call of Duty streamer, Nick Merckx, one of the biggest streamers on the whole of Twitch, announced he would no longer compete in tournaments. So Nick, obviously FaZe Nick, so Nick plays for, his reps FaZe Clan. Authentic Warzone tournaments just aren't possible anymore. We learned a lot of this at Gauntlets. We take forms of cheating very seriously, maintaining a level of fair playing field for everyone is among our highest priorities. There's an area we have been working on heavily, but it wasn't always something we discussed publicly. The company had issued over 70,000 permanent bans since the game's release. Recognized there's no single solution for combating cheaters. It's a constant enforcement every day, 24/7. Rest of we committed to ensuring it. Popular hacks. Here we go. So one example of how players can cheat is by using a so-called aimbot. Now this is pretty common. I've seen a few things. Other games like Apex Legends. There's a few other games like this as well, where someone could be shooting in a completely different direction. Like literally, if I'm shooting in this direction and you're over here, still, I'm hitting you with bullets because of this aimbot hack. It's just crazy, and it's so unfair. So wall hack is basically, you can basically see through the walls and where other players are around you. It's awful. Other hacks that you hide and win by default or heal themselves an infinite amount of times. I mean, Call of Duty has always had a history of hackers. Now, obviously, hacking, I would say, is naturally always associated with PC players as well. You get console players, you get PC players, and Warzone is a cross-platform game. Obviously, everyone can play it together, depending on your PlayStation, Xbox, whatever you might be on, PC, you can all play together in the same lobby. Other games, including Fortnite, even Fall Guys. God, yeah, Fall Guys was massive last year. And Fall Guys is a party game. A party game you play with friends. And people are hacking that. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, who does that? Who does that? Who hacks Fall Guys? You're a loser. If you're someone who does that, you're a massive loser because every crown you have is tainted, mate. There have been suggestions of hacking during official Warzone tournaments, which is extremely damaging for the competitive. Yeah, if it's actually happening in competitive tournaments, that's terrible. Activision recently announced plans to bring Warzone to its professional esports Call of Duty league. Wow. The CDL is a very reputable league with top like teams, players. Even to compete in that league, you got to front millions of dollars in cash to get your team into this thing. Hacking has been a thing for a long time now, but it's completely unfair. If you're playing in a regular lobby, in a general lobby, obviously you're cheating scumbag and you shouldn't be in it. But when you take it to a competitive standpoint, you're competing for titles, you're competing for money, you're competing for reputation or whatever it might be, it's global standing. It is absolutely unacceptable in every way, shape, or form. So you kind of look at it and go, how are Activision letting this slip through the net, mate? I don't understand why this is not being addressed. They've got one of the biggest teams, probably the biggest publisher on the planet. Probably the biggest one. How there isn't someone on the inside, a team, to stop this? I mean, I think the buck has to be stopped. People like Facebook, YouTube, Twitch have to take responsibility as well. They're allowing people to broadcast their gameplay of them cheating publicly. That's got to be nipped in the bud there and then on that platform. And it has happened before on some, but it needs to be more rigorous, 100%. It's great that Vic has been the one to champion this, because Vic is a solid guy, and people respect him a lot in the competitive gaming space because he's even invested in esports team recently. Like, he is very much a big name and a tour de force in the gaming space. And him coming out and saying this and basically outing this game is a real big move with the relationship that he has with Activision. Skill-based matchmaking is one thing, but to have hackers, like actual cheaters, the idea of bringing it into the CDL at this point, like, you've got to nip all this in the bud. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had to get this out there and share because it really was kind of, it's a prominent enough story to talk about, because we've probably all played Warzone at this point. As I said, it's completely free to play right now. And as a predominantly console-based, player, it really does my nut in that there's an advantage for PC players, at least anyway, which I can live with because that's the system of choice. That's how I play. That's how I game. But when you know they've already got that advantage in a respect, but to then have an added advantage that you can cheat your way to victory, just get in the bin, mate. Not interested. I think it's despicable, man. Absolutely despicable. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do make sure to like it and subscribe if you're brand new as well. Until next time, take care. Peace out. I'll see you.